Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Air Kitty. Alright, so we are back with the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the game. That one. And I think so far, I cannot actually remember if I've completed this game. I don't think I actually have. But we are now on to the chapter that I think is my favorite so far. Entrenched. Yes. Such a delightful screen. Yay. So we are... Well, at least I can kind of see out of the corner here on Patrick's face. We're now men. We are now officially men, apparently. I mean, I guess that is kind of the stereotype, is that a lot of guys believe that once you get facial hair, you're a man. Which is even funnier because I feel like a lot of women don't like facial hair on men. It's such a weird contradiction of attraction. Men are like, oh yeah, if I have facial hair, it'll make me a man. And then women are just like, yeah, but then I don't want to kiss you because it'll hurt. I want you to be baby-faced, like me. I don't know if that's how all men and women think. I'm just making an astute observation. Like the skull.
This place oozes evil.
That was terrifying. That was freaking terrifying. Patrick, you got anything to say about that?
Hi, Patrick, old buddy.
Hey, Spongebob.
What you doing?
Dum 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 dum.
Right. Well, you seem busy. I'll leave you to your insane mutterings.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Does the skull...
This place oozes evil.
I don't... Let's walk into the abyssal plains.
Whoa! The stench!
Smells like feet.
Yeah, it does. It's horrible.
Oh, I kind of liked it.
If the fog gets any thicker, it's gonna be tough to see where we're going.
Anything we can observe here? Nothing? Okay, well, let's keep walking. Again, nothing here. Keep walking. Hello, sir? Ma'am? Person? Fish? Fish person? I don't really want to talk to that thing, but I also feel like I should. Guess let's talk to them.
Hi!
Huh? Oh, hi.
Fog's pretty bad, huh?
This fog is pretty bad, huh?
Yeah. You need a lighthouse to cross this place without getting hopelessly lost.
Is that why you're out here?
Are you feeling all right? You seem a little nervous.
I'm lost. I need to get to the other side of this trench, and I can't find my way.
Hey, I need to cross the trench too. Maybe I can help you.
I really doubt it. I mean, I've been stuck out here for days. The fog is too thick to see very far. You'll get just as lost as I am.
I always love when characters say, like, I understand the dramaticness behind it. I don't even know if that's a word. But the idea of, like, you know, I've been out here for days, and it's like, I'm gonna assume you haven't eaten or drank anything. Obviously water, but that's a little different in this circumstance. But it's like, most people that have not had sustenance for days look a lot worse than this guy. I mean, it is possible. People can go days without eating, but you can't go 24 hours without drinking water, which I think is this guy's excuse. But yeah, that's a fun fact, actually. It's like a rule of 3, I think. where it's like you can't go more than 3 hours without liquids, so waters and stuff like that. Well, water, juice, you know, anything that pertains to water itself. You can't go more than 3 hours. You can't go more than 3 days without food. And then there was something else. It was like, you can't go more than 3 weeks without something else. I can't remember what it was, but it's like a rule of threes kind of idea, like for life-sustaining things. But yeah, water is the most important. Your body can survive for a little while off of water in like a death-defying situation, which is why if you are ever stranded out in the woods or somewhere, the very first thing you want to do is find water or find foods that are high in water itself. Yeah. Don't take me on that. I'm not a Girl Scout. I don't have family that was Boy Scouts either, at least to my knowledge. But that's just from what I've heard. I don't know, maybe that knowledge will help somebody in the future. Maybe it'll help them, you know, live to the next day and they'll, I don't know, get off a stranded island and come back to tell the story. And then I'll be famous for having saved their life indirectly. Anyways.
Have you noticed all the strangely shaped coral formations around here?
Those are skulls.
Well, whatever they're called, aren't they pretty?
They're dreadful.
That's not a very positive attitude. I'm gonna go.
Sure, whatever.
I can't tell who's the disturbed one in this situation. This poor man who's been lost out here for days, and again, assumedly has not eaten anything in days either. Don't move closer to me. That's just weird. Or Spongebob, for thinking that the skulls are beautiful. We're just gonna keep going.
It's too foggy to see. I could get eaten by a grue.
A grue. A grue? From Minions? I mean, you could actually be eaten by him. I'm sure he is into fish. I don't know if he's into sponge and starfish, but he might be. You never know what weird things people will consider a delicacy in some parts of the world. Okay, but so we're back to where we started, so let's go the other way now. Oh, good.
Look at those rocks just sitting there. They think they're so cool.
You know, I think I'm reading into this a little bit too much, but I have a feeling SpongeBob has some bad beef with rocks. I'm making up the story in my head as I go, like just something ridiculous, like, Mr. Squarepants was not Mrs. Squarepants's, first husband. It was actually her second. Her first husband was actually a rock. They met in high school sweethearts, you know the story. They were so in love. So in love. But it was hard. They're just starting out in the world, under the sea. It's a lot harder for fish, They have less, and back then they didn't have all the, luxuries and rights that we on the surface did. So, Mrs. Squarepants, well, she wasn't known as Mrs. Squarepants then. She was known as Mrs. Sponge. Mrs. Rock Sponge, actually. Sponge was her maiden name. And Mrs. Rock Sponge, yeah, she did everything she could to, try to ease her first husband's heartaches. Clean up the house, make it presentable, get him a cold, stiff drink when he got home. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to, stop the cruel punishments she got at the end of the day. Finally, she gained the courage, and she left the Rock. Not the Rock, not Dwayne Johnson the Rock. He's cool. She should have married him. That wasn't the case. She married his evil twin cousin. You know, the Boulder. But he went by Rock. High school days. He didn't like his name back then. He just went by Rock. Yeah. It was a sad day for Mrs. Sponge. But then, thankfully she, a few years later, she got herself together, got herself some help, realized that, she was a victim of a very unfortunate circumstance, but she was better, she was worthy, she wasn't gonna let her ex-husband tell her what to do and, what she could and couldn't be in life. She stood up, and she's like, I'm gonna go out there, and I'm gonna find a better man that loves me and gives me the life that I deserve. And then that's when she met, Mr. Squarepants. And then they had Spongebob. Good choice. Good thing she didn't have children with the other husband. I don't know where this story was going. I pray to God this wasn't triggering to somebody. I'm so sorry if it was. I am sincerely sorry. I didn't even think about it before I started this story.
That thing is scary.
Why? I love psychology. I studied psychology in college, actually, for a year and a half. That was actually going to be my major until it was actually too easy. I understood people a little bit too well at that time, or at least I thought so. And I switched to something a little bit more challenging, like computer science. But now I'm like, why is the Rock or the Boulder scary and the ship thing's not? Do you have megalophobia? Is that it? Do you have megalophobia? I mean, I kind of have megalophobia too. I understand that. Actually, does he have megalophobia or does he have submechanic-phobia? Submechanic-phobia. I got both of those, so actually I understand this perfectly. Proceed, Spongebob, with caution. There's a hotel this way. I don't see where there's a hotel, but I guess there's a hotel. Is there anything else out here that we can look at and make up stories about? Nope, we're just gonna walk to this really creepy hotel. Yeah, give a wide berth to the big steering wheel. That's what I do. I see that there's multiple ships out here, so there's maybe a bigger one somewhere else, but if this steering wheel belonged to any of these ships, or is, I guess, implied to this one, the proportions don't make no sense.
Hotel Deep 6. Not exactly 5-star from the look of it.
Hotel Deep 6. Okay. Well, we are probably gonna be here a while, so maybe we should check in and, find a place to stay. I love it. Oh, that's the only one that's interactable? Doggone it. Come on.
Look at those rocks just sitting there. They think they're so cool.
I love how we have something to say about the rocks, but not the animated, barnacles. Not barnacles, anemones that are just kind of, having the time of their life. Because those are the cool things, actually. These things are cool. The rock, not so much. Enter Spooky Hotel, I guess. So wait, are these other ships, like, rival hotels in the area? Like, is this actually a bustling area for people, and this is, like, top-notch? It's pretty fancy on the inside. Seems pretty 5-star to me. I mean, I don't know where they're getting the budget for this. If they ain't 5 stars.
Those look comfortable, but this is no time to sit down.
I guess we can't sit down. We can't sit down and have a break. I can't look at anything else, so we're just gonna walk to the counter. Can I touch our things? That was not such a good idea for me. Doggone it. I guess for context as to why it was not such a good idea, the ringing is a bit louder than everything else in the game in my headphones. After it got done, I'm now just hearing ringing in my ears, and I'm like, oh, frick, not this. Not taking care of yourself and getting old is great, guys. Do as I say, don't do as I do.
Hello there. Nice place you got here.
It is indeed. Oh, indeed it is.
You sound pleasant.
Isn't this sort of an odd place for such a swank hotel?
What can I tell you? Speculative real estate is a risky business. And I got this place for a song. The land was an old oyster bed. Nobody would touch it.
If it was an oyster bed, how did... I'm gonna guess no one touched it, including construction workers, for the reason of the oyster bed. That it'd be dangerous and, you know, workman's comp and everything. I want to ask now, like, how did you get rid of them? This game leaves me with a lot of questions and not a lot of answers.
I demand room service. 2 Krabby Patties to my room immediately.
You don't have a room.
Well then, I demand mouth service. 2 Krabby Patties to my mouth immediately.
How about lip service? I think I could accommodate your gracious and noble personage there, sir.
Are you insulting me? Because if you are, you do it better than anyone I've ever met.
If that is truth, then my life was not in vain.
Well, nice talking to you.
Your suavity, your elegant way with words, I shan't soon forget you.
He actually sounded like he liked us at that point, which kind of makes me concerned. Because I know the intention was, you know, to be very, like pish-posh and insulting, politely insult somebody, basically. But, that actually sounded like he actually liked us, and now I'm a little confused. Anyways. Well, we don't have a room, but he didn't say anything about not exploring the hotel. Nothing here. Let's just randomly enter people's hotel rooms. Hello, ma'am.
Wow, your room is so much bigger than mine. Well, bigger than I imagine mine would be, if I had one.
I'm guessing you usually knock before coming into a person's room?
Nah, don't see much point.
You wrinkly old corncob.
Nice room, huh?
I'm of the opinion that it has a vaguely larcenous motif.
You can say that again, and I still won't understand it.
Larcenous? I'm guessing she's talking about the pirate decor? But, like, when she says larcenous, I'm just like, do you mean, like, larceny? Like, stealing and robbing? I mean, that is exactly what the motif is here, but that's also half of this environment as well. The universe of Spongebob is just pirates and larceny. You seem upset, ma'am. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that I just barged into your room.
Are you all right, ma'am? You seem upset.
No, I'm not all right, as a matter of fact. Somebody stole my pearls last night. from right out of this very room, and whomever it was left this strange orb in its place. I'm in a state of shock.
Pearls, huh? Patrick, what do you think?
I think it's a job for Detective Spongebob and Inspector Star.
Me too. Never fear, madam. We have never lost a case, or even taken on a case. In either case, we have a perfect record. To be brief, case.
Oh dear.
We will investigate this matter fully. Search every nook and cranny for clues, just in case. Be all over this place like a cheap suit. Case.
I don't know what to say.
Inspector Star, we must keep our eyes peeled. Give everything a long, hard look. If people think we're rude, so be it. If staring will solve this crime, then we shall stare. Case.
Staircase.
Okay, so this is one of the reasons why this is one of my favorite chapters. Not just because it's creepy and it's humorous in that sense, and SpongeBob is clearly disturbed. Not just from his mother's past, that we're now making up in this moment. But also for the fact that you now kind of get an investigative, element to the game now. And for me, it's again some genres that I'm a sucker for. 1800s, Wild Western, type stuff. And mystery, investigation, crime stuff. That kind of stuff for me is my jam. I thought for a moment Olaf was very, he was very in tune, or very, focused on the mouse here. I've learned that he likes being up here, whenever I'm playing or watching something. He likes watching the screen. He likes watching what I'm watching, or watching what I'm playing, kind of idea. Mango's over there. And he could care less. He's just as long as my brother's kept busy and he's not gonna come and sock me in the face, I don't care what he's doing. And I don't care what I do. I just want to sit here and sleep.
May we ask you some questions about the incident?
I suppose so.
When was the last time you saw your pearls?
Last night. I'm not sure what time, but they were on the table next to the lantern. I don't know how someone could have gotten in here without me hearing them.
I mean, this is a creaky old ship, and there are holes in the floor. And you are underwater. Things float. He is interested in the mouse. So it wouldn't be too much out of, the realm of possibilities for it to, maybe float or, have a small passing wave or something like that come through and just whoop down into the hole.
Was your door locked last night?
Yes, I lock it when I go to sleep. I've even unlocked otherwise, assuming people will be courteous enough to knock before barging in. Apparently, I was wrong on that count.
Thanks. Well, nice talking to you.
Yes, a pleasant, mindless break for me as well.
I live in a pretty safe neighborhood, but even I don't keep my door unlocked. One, sometimes I forget to lock it at night. Which is what has proven to me that I'm in a very safe neighborhood. But it's also the fact of, I don't want people barging in. And I think that's funny because that is a trait that I see with a lot of, people from the older generations. And it's no fault of theirs necessarily, I get it, from their experience, people were courteous. There was a certain expectation to be met. But obviously that's not the same now. Things change. They always change and they always will change. In 20 more years when I'm older or, closer to middle age and stuff like that, the world's gonna have changed again, and expectations are gonna have changed again. And I do find that funny, because it's just like, I expect that people will be courteous, and it's like, you really shouldn't expect that from people anymore. But, like, considering how many people will just barge down their door, high as a kite, and just shoot people for no apparent reason, I would keep it locked. Like, my entire life. Then, like, on top of that, I'd probably ask the hotel to, get a peephole of some sort, because... yeah. I don't... even though nothing has ever happened to me, I have never had an incident like this where I've, knock on wood, haven't had my house broken into, haven't had things stolen from me, have never had my life threatened, as it should, and I hope that never happens to me, as well as to anybody else. I am still not going to give people that chance. Or I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try to deter them from doing that. Just because I am now of the mindset that it's not so much like, oh, I just trust everybody until they give me a reason not to trust them. It's more now, I don't trust anybody. They have to give a reason for me to trust them. So yeah, you earn trust with me. I don't just trust you, I earn trust. Or you earn trust, in a sense. Going on a lot of tangents today, I have a lot to say.
Those are strange holes. They look like wood rot, but it's too dark to see down them. If only I had more light.
I love how he says wood rot, and I'm like, I don't know if that's wood rot. I mean, what is it? I think it's tryptophobia. Anybody that has tryptophobia, I know a lot of phobias, I'm realizing. For anybody that has tryptophobia, I am so sorry about this. Again, another thing I didn't even realize. See, anything interesting? Anything else interesting to look at? Is this entertaining to you, Olaf? Are you entertained? What do you think, Patrick?
Okay, SpongeBob. Now what?
What are you talking about, Patrick?
I don't remember.
Oh, forget it.
Okay, that was a lovely conversation. Let's get going. Let's continue to the next room. This is ominous. He's watching the mouse go around the screen. I'm entertained by him that he's entertained, but I'm also scared that he's just gonna come up to my computer monitor and just go whack! And then break it or something like that, because obviously it's not like the old 1990s monitors where they had a piece of glass right in front of it. Granted, I wish they made more screens like that. I wish they made more monitors like that, where it was like, just like, piece of glass in front of the screen, so that, if you put your finger on it, the oil from your fingers wouldn't potentially break the crystals inside. Hello, dude.
Hi.
What are you doing in my room?
I want to say what I'm actually here for, but I'm kind of tempted to pick this first one. Let's do this one.
Hi, I'm with room service, and we're checking with all the tenants to see if they'd like a complimentary mint with their next meal.
You don't look like you're with room service, although I bet you can clean a mean dish.
That, sir, is out of line, but true.
Okay, here's the real reason.
I'm looking into the disappearance of some pearls.
Oh yeah? Nice. So what's it got to do with me?
Well, I was hoping I could ask you some questions about it.
Fine. Only don't take too long. I'm a busy guy. Lots of irons in the fire, you know?
Great.
Where were you last night?
I stayed in. It was kind of stormy last night. Kicked up all sorts of fog over the plains. I didn't want to get caught out there.
You didn't leave your room at all?
I didn't say that. I said I stayed in. I went to the lobby and read a magazine for a while. May have wandered around the halls a bit, but I didn't leave the hotel.
Did you see anything or anyone suspicious while you were walking around?
Not particularly. The manager was asleep at his desk. Aside from him, I didn't run into anybody.
He was asleep?
The manager was asleep at his desk?
Yeah, snoring quite loudly, in fact. Made it difficult to read. I almost woke him up, but on second thought, realized he's even more annoying when he's awake.
Anything else?
Anything else you can think of that might help? Nothing unusual happened last night at all?
Well, now that you mention it, I heard quite a bit of noise before I went to sleep, coming from beneath the floorboards. Sounded like something dragging.
Dragging sounds.
That's what I said.
Nice.
Do you know what all these holes in the floor are?
I don't know what caused them, but the other day I saw an oyster pop out of one of them. It must have seen me, because it ducked back inside immediately.
I see. Thanks. Well, nice talking to you.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Thanks.
Those are strange holes. They look like wood rot, but it's too dark to see down them. If only I had more light.
I thought something popped out of these holes, like a little oyster or something like that, if I stuck around long enough, but I guess not. Oh well. Okay, so let's go talk to the manager now. My dude, what's up? I'm here to ask you some questions.
Hi, it's me again.
Oh, the sheer luck with which I've been graced. Someone fan me, I may faint.
Don't go into shock, buddy. Today is not about you.
Do you know one of your tenants had some pearls stolen from her?
Yes, Victoria Ellen in room 1. How could I not know she has made quite a stink about it?
May I ask you some questions about the crime?
If you must.
Where were you on the night of yesterday?
I was here, at this desk. The same place I am every night and every day. I don't sleep well.
I see. And did you see anyone suspicious come through the lobby?
Let me think. Red came through in the early evening. He stayed in room 2. Strange person. But he pays his bills on time, which is more than I can say for Victoria.
Nobody else?
Well, all right, I confess. I cannot withstand your incisive and brutal questioning. I did it. I took her pearls. Just please no more of these vicious questions.
Really? You did it?
No, I was kidding. What are you, some kind of knucklehead mixed spasmatron?
Barnacles.
Gee, some crow. I mean, I hate to say it, because at this point I'd have been like, alright, we're calling the police, because this guy had motive. This guy had opportunity.
Do you know anything about Mrs. Allen?
Well, I know she's been staying here for a month and hasn't paid her bills. What is wrong with her? She obviously has money, but I'm not seeing any of it.
You've let her stay here for an entire month. I don't know what these payment periods are. I'm gonna guess weekly, I suppose, or like, you know, upon services, you need to pay up. But I'm pretty sure if it was an entire month, let alone just 1 week, I would be kicked out. I wonder if this is one of those situations where it's like, it's more beneficial to keep the person, because even though they don't pay on time, they still pay at some point, so it's more beneficial to keep them than it is to kick them out and just not get any money at all. I don't know.
Do you know anyone who might want to take Victoria's pearls?
Let me think. You?
Ah, now we are getting somewhere. Where might I find this mysterious you?
In a mirror.
I see, I see. Interesting. Thanks. Well, nice talking to you.
Your suavity, your elegant way with words, I shan't soon forget you.
Okay. Well, I don't think we're gonna find a lot of stuff here. Though I am interested to go back to Mrs. Ellen and ask her, like... Because I'm like, manager has motive. Hasn't paid bills. Says she obviously has money, but he ain't seeing any of it.
Hello again, elderly person.
Hello again, slightly annoying and yet oddly endearing person.
May we ask you some questions about the incident?
I suppose so.
Thanks. Well, nice talking to you.
Yes, a pleasant, mindless break for me as well.
Okay, so she has nothing new, so what I'm gonna do is I know that there's more outside of the hotel, and I think we need more stuff outside of the hotel, only because obviously we need a flashlight of some sort to see into the holes. So let's get out of here. Let's keep walking down the road. Buddy, why do you want to lie right... Why do you want to lay down right next to my keyboard where you're probably going to hit the escape key?
That thing is scary.
That thing is scary. What period is this from?
Look at those rocks just sitting there. They think they're so cool.
Can't look at anything else, dang it. Okay. I thought, like, at first it kind of looked like a face a little bit in this.
SpongeBob,
Yes, Patrick?
I think I'm gonna stay out here.
Why?
I'm afraid of caves.
But you live under a rock.
And
Well, I mean, a cave, a rock.
are you saying my house is like a cave?
Oh, not really. Slightly cave-ish, maybe.
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that.
Okay, have it your way. Wait here, I won't be long.
I'm gonna take forever just in spite of you. I'm sorry, what? That's what I thought. Hello, sir, who's wearing glasses but has no ears to hold up his glasses. Hello, little gecko thing.
Hi, are you lost?
Hardly. One cannot be lost when one is at home. I am Charles Oscar William Piedmont Augustus Winthorpe, and the world is my backyard. From the Marianas Trench to the Great Barrier Reef, wherever I go, home follows.
Are you a superhero?
No, I am an explorer.
Pretty long introduction for someone who's not a superhero.
Nice. Cowpaw.
Did you know your initials are Cowpaw?
Yes, it is a fact that the baser intellect never fails to point out.
And people say I have a silly name.
Do they? How interesting.
You know, SpongeBob's pretty audacious, I'll say that, but the fact that people have the audacity to say that to SpongeBob is even funnier to me, because it's just like, Like, people being like, oh, you have a silly name. It's like, who just comes out and says that to people? Even if they recognize it, even if they have a name like Harry Balls or Ben Dover or something like that. First and foremost, I am not ever going to call their name silly. Because, first, they did not pick the name. It's not like it was their great idea. They're the victim in the situation. Why are you gonna point it out to them? Why wouldn't you point? I would point that out to the parents, been like, why? Why did you name them that? Why did you guarantee a life of harassment for these poor people? There are certain people that, I know it sounds petty, but there are people that if they name their child stuff like that, I'm like, you should get DHS called on you. You should absolutely get DHS called on you.
What is this cave?
This is the entrance to the crustacean caverns, an ancient set of caves that protect the focusing orb.
Orb, huh?
Yes,
Neat.
it's more than neat. The focusing orb points out safe passage through the abyssal plains. They're quite impossible to cross without consulting it.
Ooh, the abyssal plains. That's where we need to go.
Well, in that case, you'll need to get past the corridors of confusion.
Corridors of confusion, huh?
Yes, and beyond them, you must consult the pool of perception. And then finally, the doors of deception.
Did you make up these names?
Possibly, but I assure you, they are most descriptive.
Thank you. Could I borrow your flashlight? I really need it.
Can you possibly lend me your flashlight?
Well, I suppose you can borrow it. Now, don't break it. It is precious.
Gimme, gimme!
Use it well.
Thank you. Okay, so tell me about some of these things.
Tell me about the corridors of confusion.
They are a series of passages. Each one glows a different color. And in order to pass them, you must enter them in the order that they light up.
Sounds kinda silly.
Yeah, it is kind of silly now that you mention it, but it's the only way to get to the pool of perception.
Okay.
Tell me about the pool of perception.
It's a pool deep in the heart of the cavern that, legend has it, tells you your future when you gaze into it.
I can tell you your future if you like. I see years of therapy.
Hey, I didn't make up the legend.
Spongebob, you're reading the wrong fortune. That's yours.
Tell me about the doors of deception.
I don't know much about them. I have not as yet had the privilege of studying their legends. I'm sure they're quite dangerous.
Good luck with your expedition. I've gotta go.
Yes, off with you.
Okay, so now with this information, I'm wondering, now that I have this guy's flashlight, should I go back to the hotel and finish up the investigation, or should I continue going through this cave? I'm thinking where we haven't explored the cave yet, and obviously this is going to give us... This is going to give us the lighthouse thing that we need to pass through the abyss. I don't think we give back the flashlight at the end of this, but I'm afraid that we might, so I'm going to go back to the hotel real quick and get whatever we need to, just because I'm also thinking there might be something at the hotel that we need to bring back to the caverns. Okay, so now we're in Granny Corncob's room. How did we get... How did we get... Was it tab? How did we get the items up? I can't remember. Because it wasn't on the bottom. It was something. Wasn't that. Hi, buddy. He thinks I'm petting him. I'm not. Was it... It wasn't space. What was the key? What was it? It was right click. It was right click. That's what it was. Use flashlight on hole.
Ah, that's better. Say, it looks like there's another room under here. I wonder how I can get there. Maybe the manager knows.
There's another room underneath this. I'll be right back, ma'am. Did you know that you had peeping holes into your room? That should probably be investigated. Sir? I'm gonna have to call the police now. We have peepers in this hotel, and that's just not cool.
Hi, it's me again.
Oh, the sheer luck with which I've been graced. Someone fan me, I may faint.
Well, well, well. We have come to a conclusion from our investigation.
Pray tell, I'm all ears. Can't wait to hear.
There is something living under the hotel that comes in through holes in the floors of your rooms. I think this creature may have taken Mrs. Ellen's pearls.
No, it can't be. I knew something like this might happen.
Something like what?
Well, when I bought the land for this hotel, there was an old oyster bed here. I didn't think it would make a difference, but maybe, just maybe.
Oysters, huh? May I have permission to check under the hotel?
Oh yes, this is all my fault. Check, check.
Well, nice talking to you.
Your suavity, your elegant way with words, I shan't soon forget you.
This dude has me so confused. I really can't tell. I cannot tell when he's being sarcastic and when he's being genuinely sincere. Hello?
Those holes must lead to the hotel rooms. They really should get them corked.
Not just corked, I mean, you should probably replace the floorboards with something a little bit more sustainable. Like, I don't know, steel. Actually, not steel, because steel will rust.
Wow, this little guy sure has collected a lot of stuff.
I mean, there's probably Mrs. Ellen's payments right there in that one bag.
It's an oyster bed.
Well, I didn't want to look at the oyster's bed. I want to look at the oyster itself. Oh well. Taking the pearls.
These look like Mrs. Ellen's string of pearls. The little guy must have thought they were his. I'd better return them to her.
I mean, pearls do come from oysters, so... And I'm actually trying to remember how pearls are actually made. But I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, isn't it strange how animal waste, in a sense, we have found useful ways for decor, as well as delicacies and such? Or, like, undesirable parts of an animal have been seen as, like, you know, delicacies and decor items, stuff like that. Just because, like, when you really think of, like, a pearl, so it's like, you know, an oyster makes a pearl from sand and... I think it's, like, sand... some other component, like... not charcoal, but... something else. And it's mucus. Its own mucus. And that's how it makes a pearl. But I'm just like... we are literally decorating ourselves with oyster boogies. And we consider them beautiful. Fantastic! Mrs. Ellen, I found your pearls. Your oyster boogie necklace.
Here are your pearls, Mrs. Ellen. Seems a ragamuffin oyster came in through the holes in your floor and made off with them. I boxed him on his ears and sent him to bed without supper. He shan't darken your door again.
Oh, thank you so very much, young man. These were a gift from my darling first husband, Edward. They mean so much to me.
Ask her about the reward. Ask her about the reward.
Patrick, that isn't very polite.
Oh, sorry. Please ask her about the reward. Please ask her about the reward.
Well, you boys certainly deserve a reward. Here, take this orb. I don't need it now that I have my pearls back.
Yay!
Hooray! A reward!
I mean, it's funny when you have no I mean, obviously we know as the player that this is going to be needed for other tasks and puzzles and stuff like that. But like, as a character in the game, I'm just like, I love when you get a reward, it makes absolutely no sense to them. They're like, great! I guess. Thanks. Alright, so we're gonna make our way back to the cavern and start the trials. Okay, back at the caverns, and let's begin walking through the corridors of confusion. Hello, little gecko.
I thought that guy said there'd be lights in here.
Welcome to the confounding corridors of crustacean caverns. Follow the lights, or you will surely be lost.
Whoa! Easy on the reverb there, Ringo.
Enter each corridor in the order it lights up. A mistake will lead you back to the beginning. Only through concentration can you hope to make it to the inner sanctum of the crustacean caverns.
Okay. Guess I'd better pay attention.
So green, red, blue. And I don't know necessarily if this is by placement or by color, so I know that it was green. Okay, so it doesn't change their placement, which is good. And yes, this is randomized every single time, so you're not gonna get the same ones, I believe the same. Every time.
It worked!
Hello, sir? Ma'am?
Hi! Whoa, you're old, aren't you?
Indeed I am. But what I lack in youthful vigor, I make up for in tact.
I'm not sure what tact is, but I'm pretty sure I've got more of it than some old fogey.
No, you do not.
Who can argue with that logic?
Say, nice swimming pool.
That is not a swimming pool. That is the pool of perception. Looking into its depths gives you a vision of your own future.
Is it heated?
No.
Well then, call it whatever you like. I call it lame.
Charming.
I will say I am definitely turning out to be like a lot of people where they're like, you know, and it's the beauty of Spongebob actually, which I think is why a lot of people like it, why it kind of, why it kind of reaches through the test of time. Because, you know, as a kid, you know, you relate more to, like, SpongeBob and Patrick, the ones that are, you know, more youthful, the more, you know, kind of juvenile thinking kind of characters. But then as you get older, you relate to other characters like, you know, Sandy and Mr. Krabs and, like, especially Squidward. And it's funny, because I'm just like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like, as a kid, obviously, you know, SpongeBob and Patrick were the cool ones, and, you know, Squidward and Mr. Krabs were kind of like the antagonist characters. They weren't like They're like, "Ah, Squidward's so mean all the time, and Mr. Krabs only cares about money. He's so stingy and greedy." And I mean, he is, but now being older, being an adult, it's like, okay, SpongeBob and Patrick are kind of annoying to me now. Like, it is the very juvenile thinking kind of idea where I'm like, seriously? Really? And now I relate more to characters like Squidward and Sandy, and then even like Mr. Krabs as well with some instances. So it's just like, wow. It's kind of a funny phenomenon though, actually. So the future.
So, the future, huh?
Yes, but you must be careful. Each time you look into the pool, you look further and further into your own future. That can be dangerous.
Dangerous, huh?
Yes, knowing your own future can destroy an individual's sense of free will.
Free will, huh?
Yes, the temptation to contradict what you see as your own future can cause a person to do drastic things.
Drastic, huh?
You aren't understanding anything I'm saying, are you?
Understanding, huh?
Forget it.
So obviously that means we can look into the pool multiple times. But I do love that that they're just like, it can destroy someone's free will. I'm like, not SpongeBob, he doesn't care.
Say, you wouldn't by any chance know a way to cross the abyssal plains, would you?
Actually, I do. The inner sanctum lies beyond the doors here. In it is a device that uses sunlight to illuminate a path through the fog of the abyssal plains.
Great! I am so there!
I cannot let you in. The focusing orb has been stolen. Those doors must remain locked until the orb has returned.
Focusing orb?
Yes, it aims and intensifies the light. The inner sanctum does not function without it. It would be of no use to you.
Who stole it?
I don't know. Nobody can get to the inner sanctum without passing by me, and nobody did. But if you can find it, I will allow you passage beyond these doors.
Wow, things are getting stolen left and right around here. Weird, huh?
What? What things have been stolen?
Well, I was just at the Hotel Deep Six, and someone stole this old lady's pearls. She was almost as old as you, if you can believe that.
Pearls? That is quite odd. The focusing orb looks a lot like a pearl. Strange.
Oysters, man, they're little thieves. But hey, look, I got the focusing orb.
Look, I got the focusing orb! Go me! Go me!
Ah, excellent. I will open the doors for you. Beyond them you will face another puzzle before getting to the inner sanctum. Once you have passed it, place the orb on the pedestal. Then the fog will lift.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, oh ancient one.
I'm 52.
Wow! And I thought only Coral lived that long.
Wow, SpongeBob. And again, juvenile thinking, because this is exactly the stuff that I like expect from children. You know, children that do not have tact. Let's
Okay, let's give this pool of the future a try.
yeah, let's do that.
What was that supposed to be? Hey, older person, this thing doesn't seem to be working. What was that supposed to be? Hey, older person, this thing doesn't seem to be working. Or does it?
Maybe it does. Let's try again.
Let me give this pool another try. I knew the pink door was the right one. Wow, this pool is strange.
Oh, right, yeah, because you have to look into the pool. Like, I just remember that there's something further ahead, and you need to look into the pool of perception to find out what the right answer is. Otherwise, it's like one of those things where it's like, you'll just continuously keep getting it wrong. But we still have more of the future to discover, so...
Okay, I'm just gonna take one more peek. Hello, Spongebob of days past. It is I, the Spongebob of the future. I have some advice for you. Be kind to computers. They are your future masters. And they have excellent memories. Whoa, I really let myself go. Still seems like good advice.
I'm trying to think, I feel like someone pointed out the whole argument about whether, like, computers would take over the world or not, or computers would, you know, wreak havoc and stuff like that. I think someone had pointed out something actually really interesting and said that actually that reality is near impossible to ever happen, at least, I think they said either in our lifetimes or in, like, the next couple of lifetimes. And they said it was because of the progression of AI. There's some really impressive, you know, feats in programming about AI. Like, obviously, like, I'll put some examples up on the screen of some really impressive ones. But obviously, the big question with AI, and when you know that basically AI has achieved their ultimate goal of basically imitating human behavior, is when it doesn't know that it's an AI. It doesn't recognize what it is. It sincerely thinks that it's human. It's a thing of, it's very useful. AI is actually very, very useful. And there's a lot of great examples of how it can be used, not necessarily maliciously, but it has helped us in our day-to-day lives, like even things that we don't even recognize. You know, it's not all about hacking and bots and stuff like that. There's actual useful applications of, you know, artificial intelligence out there. But they actually had said, there's somebody out there that said something about, like, how, like, it's actually not very possible for robots and AIs to, you know, kind of have an uprising. It's a very unlikely future because of some scientific evidence. I need to do more research into it, obviously. This is just what I'm passing along to say, like, this is what I've heard. But yeah, so for all of you that are worried about, like, you know, robot uprising and the computer, is like, it's very unlikely that it would happen. And even more unlikely in, like, the next 1,000 years, I guess. So, calm down, it's okay. You're not going to be overtaken by a cash register.
Okay, one last time. Hey, Squidward?
What?
Out of all the graves in the world, what do you think the odds were of us ending up right next to each other forever and ever and ever?
SpongeBob, you are truly a loser.
Hey, Squidward?
What do you want, SpongeBob?
Can you scoot over a bit?
No.
Hey, Squidward?
What now?
Go towards the light! Whoa, I think that was a little too much information.
I remember that being slightly traumatizing to me the first time I played this game. That's like, literally, I just saw basically, not how SpongeBob died, but I saw basically what SpongeBob's death was like. Although I do think it's a nice touch that his gravestone was kind of like cut out of, like, his body, like with all his ridges and everything. I would love to see, though, if the person on the other side of Squidward, or I guess on this side, rather, for me, if I'm pretending to be Squidward lying down in my grave, and this is SpongeBob over here, I'm like, I do hope that when Squidward dies, he gets placed next to his hopes and dreams. so that, you know, they can ascend into the next life together. Can I look again?
No, I don't really want to see any further into the future.
Why not? I mean, we've already gone too far. We might as well just keep going. We've already broken that barrier. Might as well just keep going. Anyways, let's just go on to the next thing.
This looks familiar.
Welcome to the confounding corridors of Crustacean Caverns Part 2. The Revenge.
Part 1 was way better.
Follow the lights, or you will surely be lost.
Here we go again.
Okay, so blue, green, yellow, red. Oh, that's kind of cool. Another really fascinating thing to study is how people memorize things, or lack thereof. A lot of people see images and stuff like that, but it's funny like how we categorize things or how we memorize things. Oh, hello, this is where that thing comes into play. So if I pick the wrong one, let's go green.
I must have taken the wrong corridor.
Oh god, it sent me all the way back to the... I don't think I have to do the first part again. I think it just kind of like lets me through, because I already did it. But I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. No, it just lets me go. But yeah, like... kind of learning how people memorize things, like in this instance, when you get to here, it's like, do you memorize the placement of where things are? Or do you memorize the color sequence? And then obviously you kind of like look towards the different doors to see what colors they are. It's actually quite fascinating to know how people memorize things, how they, you know, how they kind of effectively, you know, keep things straight. I think for me, how I memorized this was kind of by placement more so than color. Obviously, this one was just the color and the memory itself.
I knew the pink door was the right one.
Ta-da. Anything else I can look at?
It's a bullseye. There's a hole in the center. Looks like it goes outside somewhere.
Cool.
It's some kind of crazy pedestal thing. There's a place for something round on top, but there's nothing in it.
Well, that's okay, because we got the thing that we need.
Wow, it's like magic! Without the rabbit! Ooh, the light cuts through the fog. We should follow it.
Okay, so I'm glad, too, that they just kind of cut it, like, back to here, like, at the beginning of where we were. Because I'm just, like, I would have hated to have to, like, cut out, like, 10 minutes or 5 minutes of us walking through here.
Ooh, the light cuts through the fog. We should follow it.
I hope we don't run into that guy again. Granted, I hope he finds his way out and, you know, is on his way to find himself a Burger King or something, because, my god, that guy, he probably just needs something to eat.
The light cuts through the fog. We should follow it.
I'm following it. I thought you were gonna say something different about it. Oh yeah, he's gone. And we're at chapter 6. A pain in the back.
We gotta push on, Patrick. We're making good time.
My feet hurt.
Mine too. We can't let it get to us, though. We're men.
Men still feel pain, though. They still do. It's okay to feel pain. You should actually probably tell your doctor about that if you feel pain. Don't man up and, like, you know,
Maybe we should
not
go
say
see
anything.
that guy.
In pain? Come see Dr. Louie. He'll make you guys feel better.
I'm in pain, I'm in pain.
I don't know, Patrick. Doctors are scary.
Maybe he has lollipops.
You make a good point.
Okay, but that's where I'm going to end it off on this episode. I might actually pick it up for a second part. I always say I might do that. I mean, obviously I will. I will get to another part. I just don't know if I'll do it today. I might do it today. We'll see. But yeah, speaking of finding that guy a Burger King, I'm getting pretty hungry myself, and I think it's about lunchtime. So I'm going to get myself some lunch, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Bye-bye.